Okay, so as many of the students have joined, we will start our lecture. So first of all, this is our fourth session on analog circuits. The topic that we are going to see today, it's about active filters and Butterworth filter, which is Butterworth filter was not previously added in the syllabus, but for GATE, since GATE 2021, they have added these two filters. Actually, active filters was asked previously also, but Butterworth filter now they have added, and instead of MOSFET, okay, right? So MOSFET questions are not likely to be asked in the GATE exams. From the research, it has been seen that MOSFET has been removed from the syllabus, but Butterworth filter and active filters have been added. So you can hope these questions will be asked more. Means more means there are chances that active filter and Butterworth filters will be asked for your GATE examinations as far as analog circuit subject is concerned. So today we are going to see active filters and in detail about active filters, then Butterworth filter, and we will solve few GATE lectures on active filter and Butterworth filter. Okay, so let's start with filters are circuits that are capable of passing signals with a band of frequencies while rejecting or blocking signals of frequencies outside this band. Okay, so why we use filters? Basically to allow certain frequency of signals to pass and reject few signals which are not required. So this property of filter is also called frequency selectivity. Okay, frequency selectivity means we are selecting a particular band of frequency and we are rejecting a particular band of frequency. Types of filters: analog filter, digital filter. Now analog filter, they function on continuous time signal. Okay, now continuous time signal is, you can say, a sinusoidal waveform is a continuous time signal, and a discrete time signal means if we take the particular signal at a instant of time is called as discrete signal. Okay, it can be said that for a particular instant it is 5, for after 5 seconds it is 10, after 5 seconds it is 12, after 5 seconds it is 15, after next 5 seconds it is uh, again 8, 7, like that. Okay, so analog filter, digital filter, two broader categories of filters. Under analog or digital filters, it can be subdivided into four categories: low pass filters, high pass filters, band stop filters, and band pass filters. Now you might be imagining, what do you mean by Butterworth filter? Means in which category does it fall? So Butterworth filter, it falls under low pass filters category. Now Butterworth filter, to clear it from your mind, because it will constantly be kept in your mind, you will think upon it till the end of session, means till I reach Butterworth filter. So to clear your mind, Butterworth filter, Butterworth filter, what is the meaning of butter? Butter means what? Smooth. Okay, whenever the question or the word butter, we hear about butter. Butter means what? It is a smooth thing. Okay, and worth means what? It is, अगर हिंदी में बोलूं मैं, बटर वर्थ का मतलब क्या है? मक्खन की तरह. ओके, बटर की तरह. तो अगर इस टाइप का फिल्टर मैं यूज करूंगा, ओके, इफ आई यूज Butterworth filter between these analog signals, and I allow certain frequency to pass through Butterworth filter, it will make the signal smooth. It will make the signal flat. Are you getting? Low pass frequency, it will make that particular signal flat. Means disturbances or distortions will be removed. Oscillations will be removed. Okay. The noise or disturbance occurring in the signal will be eliminated. It will be terminated and a smooth, flat signal will be obtained. Now, this kind of signal, particularly application, if you see in the frequencies where ultrasound is required, or okay, ultrasound, ultrasound, okay, sonography, or there are many applications like that which require smooth frequency to be allowed through the signal. Okay, so that is what Butterworth filter means. Okay, so now remove this particular Butterworth filter for now from your mind. Okay, we will focus on these filters first: low pass, high pass, band stop, and band pass. This we have already actually seen in our previous session, but still, as the focus is more on filters for get questions, we are again seeing what actually in detail about the filters. Okay, सो बटरवर्थ का मीनिंग आपको समझ में आ गया है. बटरवर्थ मतलब क्या है? मक्खन की तरह, बटरवर्थ फिल्टर. Okay, we will also see the mathematical expressions and the graph of Butterworth filter ahead. Okay, now here in a pictorial form, ideal filters have been shown. Okay, so here you can see low pass filter, high pass filter, band stop filter, and band pass filter. So low pass filter you can see here. It's a image showing frequency versus magnitude. Okay, this is omega, frequency, x-axis versus magnitude. A particular magnitude of signal is allowed and the rest signals are rejected. That is low pass filter. Here it's a low magnitude frequencies are allowed. Okay, here you can see 0 to omega c, these frequencies are allowed. In high pass filter, 0 to omega c, this is a critical. C denotes a critical. C is for critical. So critical gain margin or critical frequency up to 0 to critical frequency, it is allowed. In high pass, 0 to critical frequency is rejected, not allowed. After that, it is allowed. In band stop filter, we can keep a band. Means first from 0 to first crossover frequency or critical frequency 1, it will be allowed. From omega c1 to omega c2, there is a stop band. It means here it is rejected. Again, the frequency is allowed. So again, the signals will pass. In band pass filter, what will happen? First, the frequency will be rejected, then again it will be passed, then again it will be rejected. Now here you can see analog filter responses. Okay, two responses are shown over here. Two graphs are shown over here. That is f and h of f. Frequency versus h is a function of that frequency, particular frequency. You can say it's a magnitude of frequency. In the first image, in the first graph, you can see it's an ideal brick wall filter. I can say it's a low pass filter. Both are low pass filter. Both are the responses of low pass filter. But one is ideal, another one is practical. The ideal filter, there is another term for it. It is called as brick wall filter. Why brick wall filter? It looks like a brick wall, particularly in a 90-degree angle. There are corners, and in practical filter, there are no corners. It's a smooth. curve. You can see here, there is a smooth curve. Filters can also be categorized as passive filter and active filter. When it is called passive filter, when there are passive elements present in that filter. Passive elements means what? Resistance, resistor, inductor, capacitor or capacitor. Okay. So when these three elements are present in the particular filter, it's called as passive filter. Active filter means when there is a presence of op amp or energy source along with passive element, it can called as active filter. Why I said along with passive elements, like op amp, it it alone cannot work as active filter. It requires addition of resistors and capacitors. Okay, and the combination will give you the filter. Okay, response like a filter. So the circuits that employ one or more op amps in the design and addition to resistors and capacitors. Okay, so it's called as active filter. Passive filters use resistors, capacitors, and inductors. To minimize distortion in the filter characteristic, it is desirable to use inductors with high quality factors. Okay. Now, practical inductors include series resistors. Okay, series resistance. They are particularly non-ideal. They are bulky and expensive. Active filters overcome these drawbacks and are realized using resistors, capacitors, and active devices, usually op amps, okay, which can all be integrated. Okay, so active filters replace inductors using op amp based equivalent circuits. Okay, now advantages of active RC filters include reduced size and weight. Okay, so the size and weight is less for active RC filter. Active RC filter means there will be an op amp present in that system. There is no inductance because inductance are heavy, heavier than capacitor. They are bulky, large in size. Okay, also it there are chances that it will reduce the life of that particular you can say filter if we use inductor. So simpler design than for passive filters and can realize a wider range of functions as well as providing voltage gain. In large quantities, the cost of an IC is less than its passive counterpart. Okay, so let's take the attendance first. I will just put the link over here. Oh, the slide is not changing. I'm sorry. Okay, okay. I will try to share it again. Okay, everyone fill the feedback form, attendance form over here. I have written it in the chat box. So everyone fill the feedback form. I'm sorry, the screen was not visible. I think that's why only one screen was visible, I guess. Sorry, so I will have to. Okay, I will wait for 2 minutes. Please fill the feedback form first. Attendance should be filled first. I will wait for 2 minutes. Give the attendance. Fill it properly, okay? Write your name and all correctly. Name, class, and everything. Okay, I guess everyone has filled the feedback form, attendance form. So I was talking about types of filters. So in a broad category, there are two types: analog filter, digital filter. Okay, analog filters, they process the continuous time signal, and digital filters, they process the discrete time signals. And they are subdivided into four categories: low pass, high pass, band stop, and band pass. So here you can see the images for low pass, high pass, band stop, and band pass. So low pass filters, you can see the frequency from 0 to omega c is allowed and the rest is rejected. Here from 0 to omega c, that is crossover frequency, that is rejected, and after that the frequencies are allowed. So in band stop filter, 0 to omega c1 is allowed, omega c1 to omega c2, this is the band where the frequency is rejected. After that, omega c2, the frequency is again allowed. Okay, and in band pass filter, 0 to omega c1, that is, it is rejected, this frequency is particularly rejected, and from omega c1 to omega c2 it is allowed, this band is allowed, and after that again it is rejected. Analog filter responses. So you can see there are two graphs over here, responses are shown. So both are for low pass filter. The only thing is, this is ideal filter which is called as brick wall because it is a 90-degree. You can see the corners. Okay, so it's termed as brick wall filter, and this is smooth curve, so it is called as practical filter. Passive filters and active filters. So passive filters containing passive elements, RLC, resistance, inductance, capacitance, is called as passive filter. Active filter is the one which has op-amp in that circuit, as well as addition to that it has a resistor and capacitors. Why inductance is not considered over here? Inductance is bulky, huge, and heavy. Okay, that's why inductance is not considered. So passive filters, it uses RLC. It is used to minimize distortion in the filter characteristic. It is desirable to use inductors with high quality factors. Practical inductors include a series resistance. Okay, they are particularly non-ideal, they are bulky and expensive. Two filters overcome these drawbacks and are realized using resistors, capacitors, active devices, and which can be integrated. You can see active filters replace inductors, so inductors is not considered in active filters, and using op-amp. So op-amp takes the place of inductors, you can say that. Now, advantages of active filters. The size is reduced, Okay, weight is less, increased reliability and improved performance, simpler design than for passive filters, and can realize a wider range of functions as well as providing voltage gain. In large quantities, the cost of an IC is less than its passive counterpart. So, what are the disadvantages now? So, active RC filters also have some disadvantages. Okay. So, I can say the disadvantage is limited bandwidth of active devices limits the highest attainable frequency. Okay. Passive RLC filters can be used up to 500 megahertz. Okay. It require power supplies like passive filters, increased sensitivity to variations in circuit parameters caused by environmental changes compared to passive filters. Okay. And for many applications, particularly in voice and data communications, the economic and performance advantages of active RC filters far outweigh their disadvantages. Okay, so it means that disadvantages are less, advantages are more in active RC filter. Not talking about Bode plots. So why we are seeing Bode plot? It's not that we are studying control system over here. Bode plot is the measure to see whether the particular filter, you can say, whether it is working according to our desired frequency or not. Okay, that is the study. The Bode plots are important when considering the frequency response characteristics. They plot the magnitude or phase of a transfer function in decibel versus frequency. So we'll just recall Bode plot. Okay, recall Bode plot and use of a logarithmic scale for frequency. So here, this is the x-axis that is called. It's a 1 decade. Okay, 10 to 100 is called as a 1 decade. So where a decade is defined as a range of frequencies where the highest and lowest frequencies differ by a factor of 10. That's why it's called decade. Okay, 10, 20, 30, 40 goes up to 100. So what do you mean by decibel? Two levels of power can be compared using a unit of measure called bell. Okay, two levels of power. So suppose this is given by B is equal to log P2 divided by P1 to the base 10, which means decibel is defined as 1 bell is equal to 10 decibels. This 1 bell is equal to 10 decibels. The common dB, okay, so dB will be what? It will be 10 multiplied by log P2 upon P1 to the base 10. Common dB term is the half power point, which is the dB value when the P2 is 1 half P1. Now log 10 log 1 by 2 to the base 10 is equal to minus 3.01 dB, that is equal to minus 3 dB. Here you can see decibel. There are two columns. One is power gain in decibel and voltage gain in dB. So you can see It's passing through op amp, P in and P out. P in is the input power, P out is the output power. So the gain AP, gain of that particular power is equal to 10 log P output upon P input. Okay. So the power gain is given by this particular formula 10 log P0 by P input, that is output upon input. And this 0 dB is equal to 10 log P input upon P input. Minus 3 dB is equal to 10 log half P input upon P in. Accordingly, here it is AV, that is voltage gain, is equal to 20 log V0 upon V input. Now, why there is a 20 over here? Because P is equal to V square upon R, and V square is equal to P into R. We can take the square root, so that square root will be written as 2. Okay, when we remove the square root, when we remove the power, it becomes 20 log V0 divided by V input. This is just the basic substitution of log in this formula. Okay. If we multiply 2 with these formulas, it will be a voltage gain. Okay. These formulas are same. Just replace P by V and multiply 2 at every point. So it will be this way. Now cascaded system means what? Cascaded means what? When it is connected in this way, cascaded way, or series. Okay. So AV1, AV2, AV3. So the average AV is the product of AV1, AV2, and AV3. Okay. Voltage gain of all the op amps. That gives 10 raised to 3, and the voltage gain, it becomes 20 log the product of all these things, that is AV. So by substituting these values, it becomes 20 dB plus 20 dB plus 20 dB. That's nothing but 60 dB. Okay. So you just have to add the decibel values. Now, low pass filter response. So a low pass filter is a filter that passes frequencies from 0 hertz to critical frequency FC and significantly attenuates all other frequencies. Then it's called as low pass filter. So here you can see there is a response over here, you can see, for low pass filter, and the circuit for low pass filter. So there is a supply. Okay, Vs is the AC supply, resistance, capacitance, V0 is the output voltage, frequency, gain, frequency versus gain. So frequency, okay, so it allows a particular frequency to pass through it. After that, it becomes less, or the rest frequency are not allowed. Okay. So this particular slope is called as roll off rate. Okay, it's called as roll off rate. This is pass band, bandwidth, you can say. This is the bandwidth. Okay, whenever you uh, take internet facility at your home, you particularly observe the bandwidth. What is the particular bandwidth of your internet? and then you select the plan based on the bandwidth. So the bandwidth should be high. If the bandwidth is high, you will get good speed or better speed will be obtained. Okay, so this is a response of a single pole RC filter. Okay, you can see here the gain, that is determinant of V naught upon V input, pass band, stop band. So ideally the response drops abruptly at the critical frequency. This is the critical frequency. It drops abruptly, but practically frequency, that is FH, but practically there is a slope. This is called as transition region. Okay, transition region. Gain you can see minus 60 dB to 0 dB. Okay, so this is the particular FC value, that is the critical frequency value. Okay, so this is a particular uh, actual response of the filter, low pass filter. Okay? And this is the ideal response. Okay? So let's take a break of 2 minutes. We'll take a break of 2 minutes and then we will return. The students who have not filled the feedback form, I have just a minute, I will post it again. I will write it in the chat box again. So this is the feedback form or attendance form. Attendance will be considered on this particular feedback form. So you have to fill this feedback form. Okay. In 2 minutes, we will again join. Okay, rejoin. Okay, we will take a break of 2 minutes for refreshment. Okay, so we will continue. Why I take break is because you should get refreshed. Okay, that's why I take the breaks. So talking about pass band filters, okay, low pass and pass band filters. So passband of a filter is the range of frequencies that are allowed to pass through the filter with minimum attenuation. Minimum attenuation. Attenuation means what? Tuning. Okay, tuning is called as attenuation. Usually defined as less than minus 3 dB. Transition region shows the area where the fall off occurs. Means this is the area from where the fall off occurs. Okay. Stop band is the range of frequencies that have the most attenuation. So this is stop band where the most attenuation occurs. Critical frequency, also called as cutoff frequency, defines the end of the passband and normally specified at the point where the response drops. Minus 3 dB. Drops minus 3 dB from the passband response. Okay. So here you can see at low frequencies, that is XC, is very high and the capacitor circuit can be considered as open circuit. So at high frequencies, XC is very low and V0 is small as compared with Vn. Hence, the gain falls and drops off gradually as the frequency is increased. The bandwidth of an ideal low pass filter is equal to FC. Okay, so bandwidth BW is equal to FC. The critical frequency of a low pass RC filter occurs when XC is equal to R and can be calculated using the formula below. FC is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC. Now, this is high pass filter. So, high pass filter is a filter that significantly attenuates or rejects all frequencies below FC and passes all frequencies above FC. Okay. The pass band of a high pass filter is all frequencies above the critical frequency. Ideally, response rises abruptly at the critical frequency FL. Okay, so actual response is this way. First, it is rejecting the frequencies. This is the response of single pole RC filter where the frequencies are rejected, and after a certain point, it is allowing the frequency to pass. That is called as passband frequency. Okay. So this here you can see the supply voltage, capacitor C, and resistance R. This is the V naught output voltage. Okay. So FC is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC. is the critical frequency, formula for critical frequency. This is band pass filter response. Band pass means it will allow only a particular band to allow through it, and others will be rejected. First and last means initial and final frequencies will be rejected. So a band pass filter passes all signals lying with a band between a lower frequency limit and upper frequency limit, and essentially rejects all other frequencies that are outside this specified band. The bandwidth is defined as the difference between the upper critical frequency and lower critical frequency, FC2 and FC1. Bandwidth is equal to FC2 minus FC1. So the frequency about which the passband is centered is called the center frequency F0 and defined as the geometric mean of critical frequencies. Okay, F0 is equal to under root FC1 into FC2. Okay. Band stop filter response. So band stop filter is a filter which its operation is opposite to that of band pass filter. Okay, so here you can see first it will allow the frequency to pass, then it will reject the particular frequency, and then again it will allow the frequency to pass. So the frequencies between FC1 and FC2 will be allowed or passed. So here you can see there are mathematical expressions. At critical frequency, resistance is equal to capacitance. We can say R is equal to XC. Now this R can be also written as R is equal to 1 upon omega C into capital C. R is equal to 1 upon 2 pi Fc into C. So critical frequency is Fc is equal to 1 upon 2 pi Rc. Okay, 1 upon 2 pi Rc, critical frequency. Again, for high pass filter, critical frequency resistance is equal to capacitance. Same is the formula for critical frequency. So single pole passive filter, when resistance and capacitors are connected in this way, so first order low pass filter cutoff frequency is equal to 1 upon RC radian per second. It's a first order, okay? Cutoff frequency is 1 upon RC. Any load impedance will change frequency response. This is the problem with single pole passive filter. So any load or source impedance will change the frequency response. Okay, V output upon V input, that is equal to ZC, impedance divided by a resistance plus Z impedance at critical point, that is equal to 1 upon SC upon R plus 1 upon SC. So 1 upon SCR plus 1, that gives 1 upon RC divided by S plus 1 upon RC. They have done simplification of this particular expression. So when we see the Bode plot, so to find out the gain crossover frequency, that is gain margin and phase margin, if we want to find out. So these are the expressions for gain margin and phase margin. So single pole active low pass filter, you can see here op amp. The particular feedback or feed forward link is connected to the inverting terminal, negative terminal of op amp, and positive terminal of op amp, the resistance and capacitance are connected at the input side, and output you can measure it for in between the output terminal of op amp and capacitor. Okay, same frequency response as passive filter. So buffer amplifier does not load RC network, so output impedance is now 0. So this is a active low pass filter. Non-inverting terminal, that is the one pole, single pole, it is grounded. So this filter provides a roll-off rate of minus 20 dB per decade. Okay, so above critical frequency. The op amp in single pole filter is connected as a non-inverting amplifier over here. You can see that with closed loop voltage gain in the passband is set by the values of R1 and R2. Okay, the critical frequency of the single pole filter is given here, that is Fc is equal to 1 upon 2 pi RC. Here critical frequency and roll-off rate are explained. So the critical frequency is determined by the values of R and C. Okay, in the frequency selective RC circuit. So each RC set of filter components represents a pole. So greater roll-off rates can be achieved with more poles. Each pole resistance represents a 20 dB decade. So the number of filter poles, we can increase them by cascading to obtain a filter with 3 poles. Cascade a 2 pole with 1 pole filter.
If I'm touching my hand, the wall, that's why I observe some kind of heat. But this is the base I look for convection. If you if there is a rock, iron rock, and you can heat it due to the sunlight. Okay, one of the this is so this is your vehicle. So you can park your vehicle on in daytime. In daytime,
So
the
this is
parking
a
lot.
two-stage
There
band
is
pass
no room.
filter.
So what you observe, there is no
Okay, there are two
the
stages,
vehicle you observe
two
there is
two pole low pass, and here in stage two, that is again it is a two pole high pass filter.
heat. The heat transfer takes place due to difference in
Okay,
temperature. You don't need
so the
to
notch filter, that is a band stop filter,
heat get transfer from hot mass to cold.
is designed to block all frequency
Which is what
that fall
convection.
within its
Convection is
bandwidth.
what
The
when the
circuit
heat
is
transfer
made
from
up of
hot
high
to
pass
cold
filter, low pass filter, and summing amplifier. The summing amplifier will have an output that is equal to the sum of the filter output voltages. Okay, so you can see here this is a particular notch filter.
is because in the terms of there is a difference that is there, there's a heat transfer. And the radiation is what heat transfer offers if all objects with a temperature greater than 0 degree. 0 degree temperature, 0 degree temperature, that is heat transfer. Okay. Means what? Our day-to-day example. You can, if you go in the sunlight, you can observe a heat on your face. The sun is warming your face. Okay, and observe heat from the sun warming your face. Right? So you see also daylight. Depends on the season. Summer season is that, rainy season is different. But they transfer heat transfer on the basis of radiation. Okay. So I have explained all this convection, the radiation based on the heat transfer. Okay. However, what do you mean by convection? Because based on this heat transfer, we are moving for actual designing our solar convection. Okay. Yes. Can you explain what do you mean by convection? Yeah, that is convection. Radiation. Yes,
Okay, so here we will take a break of 2 minutes.
radiation.
Okay, so now we will continue. So in this particular, so I want to show you about Butterworth filter.
I'll quickly recap for the conduction, radiation, yeah. So conduction is nothing there is heat transfer. These all are the methods of heat transfer. So these are the modes of conduction and the there is heat transfer.
Talking about real filters. Okay, just a minute. Okay, okay. So when we talk about real filters, okay, so real filters are Butterworth filter, Chebyshev filter, then Quire filter or elliptical filter, you can say, and Bessel filter. Butterworth filter is one of the important one which we are going to see. So the transfer functions, standard transfer functions for Butterworth filter, we see. Butterworth filter, it's as I said, it's a flat pass band. Flat passband means what? It will remove all the disturbances, ripples, and it will make the system flat, like a butter, means smooth. And Chebyshev, it can be said that it is a pass band ripple.
Now we are on the solar side.
So sharper cutoff than Butterworth. Next is elliptical filter, that is passband and stop band ripple. And last one is the Bessel filter. So the dark line you can see, that is the Butterworth filter. So it's starting from 0 and then it is decreasing. Okay, that is a smooth curve you can see, that is Butterworth. This is the particular expression.
We can have water. For flat,
Butterworth filter magnitude is defined as m of omega is equal to determinant of h of j omega, that is equal to 1 upon 1 plus omega raised to 2n, the whole raised to 1 by 2, that is square root of 1 plus omega raised to 2n. Okay. So where n is the order of the filter.
we are also in domestic outside as well as commercial. And also commercial.
So from previous slide, m of 0 is equal to 1. Okay. So from this particular formula, if we substitute 0 in that formula, it will be m of 0, that will be 1. 1 will be 1 upon root 2. And for large omega, it will be approximately 1 upon omega raised to n. And 20 log of m to the base 10 is equal to 20 log 1 minus 20 log omega raised to n minus 20 log omega. So let's see the numericals based on this particular filters. Just a minute.
reflection phenomena apart from this, there is a 5% initial power
Here you can see
out of this 20%
there is a question. So for a given circuit, R1 is equal to R2, okay, that is equal to RA, and R3 is equal to R4, that is equal to RB. Then it will, the question is what it will act like, means all pass filter, high pass filter, low pass filter, and band pass filter. So this type of questions are asked. You can see here R1, R2, R3, and R4, these four resistances. So R1, R2 is resistance RA, and R3, R4 are resistance R4. So the question is whether it is a all pass, high pass, low pass, or band pass. So how we will find out? So first thing is we can find out the transfer function of it, or even if we don't want to find out the values, we can just find out the frequencies of it. Okay. So by seeing or observing the frequencies of particular filter, okay, we can say that it is which type of filter. So we can consider two values at omega is equal to 0 and at omega is equal to infinite. So let's see what happens. Okay, so the capacitor, you can see here, we will see the output voltage for this particular omega is equal to 0 and omega is equal to infinite. So for capacitor, the capacitive reactance is equal to 1 upon omega c, that is 1 upon 2 RC. So when omega equal to 0, see here, when omega is equal to 0, if I substitute here, the first case, it is infinite. Okay. As it is infinite, so it will act like an open circuit. Okay. And the output voltage expression we can find out. Okay. So for V naught, can find out it will act like a differential amplifier. So V naught is equal to R4 divided by R4 plus R3 into 1 plus R2 upon R1 into Vn minus R2 upon R1 into V input. So this is the voltage expression, okay, based on the differential amplifier application. Okay, it will act like a differential amplifier. Okay, so the output voltage expression, as it acts like a open circuit now, so the output voltage V naught will be equal to RB upon RB plus RB into 1 upon RA plus RA V input minus RA upon RA into V input. We will substitute the values of R1, R2 and R3, R4 over here. So as R4 and R3 are RB, we have substituted that V naught is equal to 1 upon 2 into 2 V input minus V input, that is equal to 0. So it comes out to be 0. At omega equal to 0, it is 0. So we can say that it is allowing some high type of frequency. Low frequency is rejected. At omega is equal to 0, we have seen V is equal to 0. V output is equal to 0. Now here, for omega is equal to infinite, the capacitive reactance is 0. Xc is equal to 1 upon omega c. 1 upon infinite is 0. It will act like a short circuit. Now again, if we substitute the values over here for output voltage V naught, again we will calculate. So okay, this will act as a V positive and V input. Okay. So now again, V positive is equal to R4 upon R3 plus R4 into V input, that is equal to RB upon 2RB into V input. That's it, guys. V input upon 2. So for omega is equal to infinite, we have obtained V output V plus is equal to V in upon 2. That's nothing but our output voltage V out. So for omega is equal to infinite, it is V in upon 2. So for omega is equal to 0, output voltage is 0. For omega is equal to infinite, it is
Yes.
V in upon 2. So it works like a high pass filter. Okay.
Okay, there
Lower frequencies are rejected, higher frequencies are allowed or passed through the particular filter. So it's a option B, it's a high pass filter. Okay. So the characteristic of filter F1 and F2 is shown below, and they are connected in the circuit as shown below. So the cutoff frequency of F1 and F2 are F1, F2 respectively. If F1 is less than F2, then resultant circuit has the characteristic of what? It is stop pass filter, band stop filter, or band pass filter. So the filter circuit is shown here. You have to find it out whether it is a which type of frequency. Okay. So this is these are the two filters F1 and F2. Sorry. So filter F1 and F2. Okay. Cutoff frequencies are given by small f1 and f2. So then the resultant circuit has the characteristic of, which is the characteristic, whether it is a stop, pass, or band stop or band pass. By observing this, for filter F1, you can say it's a low pass filter, and F2 is a high pass filter. So let's see the solution for this.
Took this circuit, then it is actually adding the resultant circuit. Now, if you look this circuit, then it is actually adding the frequency response of this filter F1 and F2. So here we have been given that the input to these two filters is Vin. So let's say the output of this filter F1 is equal to Vx, and the output of this filter F2 is equal to Vy. So here this Vout will be equal to Vx divided by 2 plus Vy divided by 2. So let us see that. So when we consider this Vx is operating alone, then this terminal will act as a ground. And in that case, the voltage at this node will be equal to Vx time R divided by R plus R. That is equal to Vx divided by 2. And the same voltage will also appear over here. And eventually, it is also appearing at the output terminal. That means if we consider this Vx alone, then the output of this circuit is equal to Vx divided by 2. Similarly, when this Vy is acting alone, at that time, the output of this circuit will be equal to Vy divided by 2. So if we consider this Vx and Vy simultaneously, then the output will be equal to Vx divided by 2 plus Vy divided by 2. So basically, this circuit is the adder circuit. That means at the output, we will get the summation of the two frequency response. And here, since we have been given that this f1 is less than f2, so if we see the overall frequency response, then it will look like this. So basically, this overall resultant circuit will act as a band stop filter. That means it passes the frequencies which is less than f1 and greater than f2, and it rejects some frequencies which is between f1 and f2. That means the given resultant circuit is the band stop filter.
Okay. So it will act like a band stop filter. Okay. Why? Because two filters F1. First, F1 is a low pass and F2 is a high pass. So the combination of two, you can see here, this is a band stop filter. Okay. So that's what a gate question looks like. Okay. We will have a break over here, break of 2 minutes. We will rejoin it. Okay. You can take a break of 2 minutes. Okay, so we will start again. Now we will see the next example for op-amp. Uh, so here you can see two inputs. Two input voltage multiplier has scaling factor of 1 and produces voltage output. If V1 is equal to 15 volt and V2 is equal to 3 volt, what is the value of output voltage? The output voltage we have to find out.
So in this question, we have been given this op-amp circuit, and as shown in the figure, this two input voltage multiplier is connected to this op-amp circuit. Now here we have been given that the scaling factor of this voltage multiplier is equal to 1.
So we know the value of output of voltage multiplier, that is equal to 1.
That means here, when the Vout and the V2 is the input to this voltage multiplier, then its output will be equal to V2 times V0. Let's say the output of this voltage multiplier is equal to Vx. So we can say that this Vx is equal to V2 times V0. Now here we have been given that this V1 is equal to 15 volt, while this V2 is equal to 3 volt. That means here this Vx is equal to 3 times V0. Now since the op-amp is ideal op-amp, so here we can assume that no current is going into the op-amp terminals. And since the non-inverting terminal is connected to the ground terminal, so here we can apply the concept of the virtual ground. So to find this voltage Vout, let us apply the KCL equation at this node. So let's say the current which is flowing through this resistor is equal to I1, while the current which is flowing through this resistor is equal to I2. So when we apply the KCL at this node, then we can write it as I1 is equal to I2. That means V1 minus 0 divided by R is equal to 0 minus Vx divided by R. And since the V1 is equal to 15 volt, so we can write this expression as 15 divided by R, that is equal to minus 3 times V0 divided by R. And if we further simplify it, then we can say that here Vout is equal to minus 5 volt. That means for the given question, the value of the
Okay, so you can see
minus 5 volt.
this particular symbol is of a voltage multiplier. So in the question it is given that if it's a 3 volt, V2 is equal to 3 volt. So it will be 3 into V0, so it multiplier. So the output is Vx is equal to 3 V0. And by applying KCL at this particular node, I1, I2 currents if we consider, so it will be V1 minus 0 upon R. So the current I1, it will be V1 minus 0 divided by R. And here I2 will be equal to 0 minus Vx divided by R. So that is 15 upon R, and this is minus 3 volt upon R. So this RR will get cancelled and V0 will be equal to minus 5. Okay, so that's how this question is all about. This one is another example. Op-amp, again op-amp is given Now here you can see there is a voltage source of 1 volt at the inverting terminal. Okay. Now let's see the question, what the question looks like. Resistances are also given, we can observe here. Assume the op-amp is ideal. So the op-amp is ideal, we know that. The voltage at node A, okay, what will be the voltage at node A? So particularly we have to see the KCL, KVL equations, and then definitely we can find out the output voltage. So let's see the solution.
So in this question, we have been given this op-amp circuit, and here we have been asked to find the voltage at this node. So first of all, let us find the output voltage of the given op-amp. And if you see over here, then the op-amp is configured in the inverting configuration. So we know that in the inverting configuration, the output of the op-amp can be given as minus Rf divided by R1 times input voltage, right? So here we can say that the output voltage will be equal to minus 31 kilo ohm divided by 1 kilo ohm times 1 volt. That is equal to minus 31 volt. But if you see over here, then the supply voltage of the op-amp is plus minus 15 volt. That means the output voltage of the op-amp cannot go beyond this supply voltage. So here we can say that the output of this op-amp will be equal to minus saturation voltage. And here, since the op-amp is ideal, so let us assume that this minus saturation voltage is equal to minus 15 volt. That means output of the op-amp will be equal to minus 15 volt. That means here the op-amp is operating in the saturation region. That means even if we increase the input voltage, then also the output of the op-amp will remain same. And if you are aware, then the concept of the virtual ground is valid only when the op-amp is operating in this linear region. So if the op-amp is operating in the linear region, in that case we can say that this voltage VA will be equal to 0. But here, since the op-amp is operating in the saturation region, so we need to find the voltage VA by applying the KCL. So let us apply the KCL at this node. And applying the KCL, we can write voltage VA minus 1 volt divided by 1 kilo ohm plus VA minus V out divided by 31 kilo ohm is equal to 0. Or we can say that 31 times VA minus 1 volt plus VA minus V out is equal to 0. Or we can say that 32 times VA minus 31 is equal to V out. And here V out is equal to minus 15 volt. So we can say that 32 times VA is equal to minus 15 plus 31 volt. That means VA will be equal to 0.5 volt.
Now we'll see numerical on active filter. Okay, so let's see the question. So for a given circuit, assume the op-amp is ideal and R is equal to 2 kilo ohm, C is equal to 1 microfarad. The minus 3 dB frequency of the circuit is that we have to calculate. Okay, so here you can see the supply is given to the inverting terminal, so definitely it's an inverting amplifier. Okay, non-inverting terminal is grounded, we hope so. So what we have to find is the output frequency. Okay, the minus 3 dB frequency of the circuit is. So let's see the solution.
So in this question, we have been given the circuit and we have been asked to find the cutoff frequency or the minus 3 dB frequency of the given circuit.
Okay, minus 3 dB frequency means the cutoff frequency that we need to find out.
Now here we have been given that the given op-amp is the ideal op-amp and we have been given the value of R as well as the capacitor. So let us find out the cutoff frequency. Now if you look the circuit, then it is the low pass filter. But whenever you are in the doubt, then the best thing to do is to find the transfer function of the circuit. So let us find out the transfer function of the given circuit. Or in other words, let us find out the ratio of V out and the V in. Now, if you look over here, then there is a negative feedback. And we have been already given that the op-amp is the ideal op-amp. So here, we can apply the concept of the virtual ground. That means this node over here will be also at the ground potential. That means at these 2 points also, the voltage will be equal to 0 volt. So to find the ratio of the V out and the V in, let us apply the KCL at this node. So let's say the current which is going into this node is equal to I1. And similarly, these two currents are I2 and the I3. So applying the KCL, we can write I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to 0. And here, since these two nodes are at the same potential, so no current will flow through these two components. So from this, we can say that this I1 is equal to V in divided by R. Similarly, this I2 and I3 are V out divided by XC plus V out divided by R, and that is equal to 0. So from this, we can say that this Vi divided by R is equal to minus V out times 1 divided by Xc plus 1 divided by R. Now we know that this Xc is equal to 1 divided by j omega c, right? So from this, we can write it as minus V out times j omega c plus 1 by R. That means V in divided by R is equal to minus V out times 1 plus j omega cr divided by R. And if we further simplify it, then from this we can say that this V out divided by V in is equal to minus 1 divided by 1 plus j omega cr. And here, if we just consider the magnitude, then it will be equal to 1 divided by square root of 1 plus omega square c square r square. So at minus 3 dB frequency or at the cutoff frequency, this magnitude will be equal to 1 by root 2. That means this magnitude is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus omega square c square r square. Or from this we can say that omega square c square r square plus 1 is equal to 2. That means omega square c square r square is equal to 1, where omega is equal to 2 pi f. So from this we can say that omega is equal to 1 divided by rc, or in other words, f is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi rc. So this frequency f will be equal to the cutoff frequency. Let's call it as the fc. And in this equation, if we put the value of r and c, then we can find the cutoff frequency. That means cutoff frequency or minus 3 dB frequency is equal to 1 divided by 2 pi times 2 kilo ohm times 1 microfarad.
Okay, so let's take a break of 2 minutes and then we will join again. Okay, so the break is over. Again, I will put the attendance link. The students who have not given the attendance, they can still give the attendance. The students who have given the attendance, it's okay. You can use the Google form who have not given the attendance. So at 2:30 p.m. there will be a test. The link will be provided to you on your WhatsApp group. You will have to give that test. The results, the marks will be shown to you just after 30 minutes. Okay, so give the test positively. All the best for your gate examination, gate preparation. Do it properly. Use different modes, different channels for your study. You can use the books, you can use the internet, you can use the social media. Do whatever the help means, do whatever is required for your study preparation. Okay, you have to do it, make a strategy, and search and do the syllabus study, and accordingly you should focus on the gate. Okay, focusing is more important. Unless and until you do not focus, you will not succeed. Now today's gate examination, sorry, the mock exam for analog circuit, you should give it positively. Okay, you should not miss anything. Okay, you study it properly and you give it. Okay, so thank you for attending this sessions. Thank you all for attending the sessions. All the best. If you have any doubts, if you want anything from myself, you can anytime ask me. Okay. I will just take the attendance, and then you can leave. Just a minute. Okay, I have taken the attendance. You all can leave the meeting now.